Thank you very much for watching Smart 24 TV wherever you are. Here we drive your business. My name is Joram Soko, and in here to take you through POLICON. We're going to be discussing matters to do with politics and the economy at large. And many thanks for tuning in to channel 372 on DSTV and channel 394 on GoTV, wherever you are. This is the POLICON. Well, speaking of which, our topic of discussion today is mainly going to be looking at the analysis of trade and business crisis, as it is affecting many livelihoods across the country and also affecting the entire economy. But how can we live with this, and what is the way forward? Those are some of the things that we're going to be discussing this particular moment and with the POLICON today. Joining me, I do have Honorable Henry Banyanzati, who is a former Minister of State for Economic Monitoring and also from the Operation Wealth Creation. Many thanks for joining us, sir.
Thank you, brother. It's a pleasure to be here, and good evening to the listeners. Or good afternoon, good morning, whatever time it may be, wherever you are.
Okay, Doctor. And we are really humbled to have you this moment to take us through the entire situation here. Now, we are looking at trade and the business crisis in the country. But speaking of trade, just recently here, Uganda continues to experience persistent trade deficits. And if you have to look at some of the reasons behind it, is that our exports are majorly primary products. And on the other hand, the imports are very expensive to the marketplace and they're outweighing our exports. How is this affecting our trade in any way?
Well, that one is, that means that as a country, we export unfinished goods or raw materials, and they fetch low value, and then we import finished goods which are at a very high value. So now what we get when we export does not match with what we import, what we pay when we import. For example, we're exporting our coffee, buying Nescafe. So we export our coffee beans
at a
lesser price and buy back our coffee in the form of Nescafe 10 times more than the price we sold it. That's the crisis.
But just recently the president
we sell our cocoa.
Honorable, recently the president was saying that apparently we export more coffee than any other country.
Yes, that's what we are saying. We export coffee, but we export coffee in beans, coffee beans, bags of coffee. We don't export finished coffee. We don't export ready to drink coffee.
We're only exporting our beans.
Yes.
Then we receive the one that has been value added.
Yes.
With the value addition.
We export our coffee beans and we import coffee. Soluble coffee, Nescafe. If you go in every hotel, it is Nescafe. Even government, it is even a shame that even in government offices, you will find they have Nescafe, which is like 10 times more the price of the coffee beans we exported.
Okay.
And even those coffee beans that we exported, in most cases, the product, the coffee we get is overall quality. We would be using coffee from grinded coffee, okay, from here, Cafe Javas, from Goose Farmers, from Kigezi, from Uganda. Should be adding value on that coffee of ours. Okay. We should be adding value on our cocoa from Bundibuja and Mukono. Okay. We export coffee beans and then we import chocolate at like 20 times more. And as a result, that's why we export our gold and our women, and even men these days have started putting on gold chains. They buy it back at 100 times. When we actually have our gold refinery here, but it doesn't do the finished goods. We export our iron ore, and then we are buying steel from China, but we're exporting our iron ore, incidentally from my place Rwanda, Muko. So whatever we do, we're exporting minerals in raw form, but import finished products.
Okay.
We export our cotton, but we are buying
clothes, more
clothes
expensive.
more expensive.
But Doctor, Honorable, if you had to look at the reason behind all this, is it a system
We
that was
export our
already
hides
put
and
in
skins.
place, or
We are
is-
buying shoes at a very expensive price.
when you look
So
behind,
that's where the crisis is.
Honorable, when you look behind the policy makers and everything that happens before the export happens, do you think the challenge is just happening now, or it
We
was
have
already
not been
set back in
having
the time?
serious governments
Okay.
since colonial days. But if we had a very serious governments, we would reverse this. Singapore has done this. Korea has done this, has demonstrated this. We were at the same level with Korea, with Singapore in 1962.
Now they are far.
We were
ahead.
richer, Uganda was richer than United Arab Emirates. I mean, took money to donate to United Arab Emirates. He donated to them when they were very hungry.
And they are far ahead.
And now it is the first world.
We're actually making
Singapore
negotiations
is the
with them.
first world now. You know? So if we are to change the governance, we have serious government
Okay.
with zero tolerance to corruption. And actually when it even brings in another crisis, what creates crisis is corruption.
Corruption.
Yes,
Every year we have an
because when you have
anti-corruption
this
month.
kind of corruption, this corruption, it corrupts our minds, it corrupts our thinking, it corrupts our policies, it proliferates in everything.
And
Because
ends up
if it
eating
was not
the
for
entire
corruption, for example, even, you see, you can even, we would even be like this, like look at even what we're exporting, we get very little. We have now reached we are now exporting our own super labor. We're exporting our we are doing what was being done in the primitive slave trade. We have now made it, we have polished it now.
It is
We call
modernized.
We call it what? What do we call
Labor
it? Labor
externalization.
export.
Yes.
Labor
Labor
externalization. We are externalizing our able-bodied youth, young men and young ladies, that externalization of labor.
But we don't have the jobs for them here.
No,
The job space is still limited.
jobs are there, but the environment is not
Suitable for
suitable for them. Jobs are there. These boys, these gentlemen are very bright, very brilliant, very innovative. Where can they get startup capital?
Nowhere.
It takes me to another crisis of high interest rates.
From
It takes me
banks.
to another crisis of inavailability of capital to run these industries, to run micro enterprises, medium enterprises.
But
To
Doctor,
run, if like, for example, if you want to say now, let me go and add value on copper and start grinding and selling, you need little money as little as 10 million shillings. You can't get it.
I don't know,
And
but
then
you will agree with me that the
and-
NRM government has made it possible for most of the industries to get set up
maybe
this
for the
last 30 years.
what
We've
kind?
seen industries,
Well,
investors.
fine, it is trying, but it's not. It can do much better, because what we have done, we have opened our gates for mainly Chinese, but these Chinese set up assembling plants, not
In our
industries. Yes,
Okay.
they bring a finished a sole, and then they bring an upper rubber thing, they add it together, then you give them tax rebate that they are manufacturing shoes, when they are actually,
Just assembling.
they are just
Finished product.
adding
Adding.
the leather on the
Okay.
sole to make a shoe. And then you give them tax rebates, and that is a tax, that is tax they are taking
They
away.
also-
Yes, you get my point?
They also get tax
And then they
holidays
come
of
along,
10 years.
they come even with their Chinese people to work here. Okay? We give them jobs, we give them contracts. If you give them contracts, but at the end of the day, what are you remaining with?
Okay.
If you keep, like, if you go on this construction, when they get these construction roads, even their tractors, even their roads, even their what are being driven by Chinese.
Okay.
So even our and that is why our own children are being externalized, because even the available jobs have not been spared for them.
And to our dear viewers, wherever you are, asking yourself what we are discussing, we're analyzing a bit of the trade and business crisis.
You see, do you know that
and how
most
it
of the
is
boys that are even
affecting
going
the livelihood
to
of
Dubai are
Ugandans.
going like coffee baristas, what we've been talking about.
But they train from here though, most of them.
No, they get trained, they can train from here,
Yes.
but they are going to work as coffee baristas in Dubai.
But then it takes us to the
But
lack
why-
of the jobs here, Honorable. We have very few jobs for example, baristas. You'll find the kind of qualifications that hotels want.
Do you need it to, and that's what I've been telling you. A coffee maker is about 10, 20 million shillings. 20. But a youth of your age cannot access 20 million to buy that coffee maker machine and position it somewhere in a corner in an arcade
And start selling coffee.
and start selling coffee because it doesn't have that 20 million shillings. Desperately, he goes to Dubai and somebody makes that, buys that, and then he starts making brewing coffee from Dubai or wherever.
And earning from
So
the
if we
inside.
were to finance these micro enterprises, they wouldn't be going. And Ugandans are very entrepreneurship.
But Honorable, let's look at
So this is where the
financing
crisis
the
is.
young people, the youth. Which avenue should the government use? The government has set up the Operation Wealth Creation, Emyoga funds. Most of these are actually targeting the youth as well. And most of them are not
Parish development model.
Parish development model
To
now.
name them
Most-
Entandikwa.
Yes, but most of them are not
The
being helpful.
the problem again is that at the formation stages, most of these programs we have politicized them.
Okay.
You find that Emyoga, money for Emyoga was being distributed during campaign period, so it was misunderstood. Entandikwa,
So it was like a campaigning strategy.
it was like it's dishing money for campaigns. So the way it has been designed, first of all, the money is not enough. So you cannot make this thing of you make a microfinance support center and it is undercapitalized. It does not have enough money to churn that kind of money.
Funding to
Yes.
the young
Yes.
groups.
And then even when the fund is there, is politicized.
At the end of the day.
That's where the governance issue come. Don't pin me that I'm part of the system. Yes, I am.
Because my next question was
Okay, I am
with
to
the
blame.
Operation Wealth
I
Creation.
must say I am to blame, but I can't work in an island. If you gave me that responsibility now, I think I would put this money, like for example, I would put this money, like for example, in a post bank, which is a government bank, but very undercapitalized to handle and make sure that in every town, in every trading center, there is a service
Service center.
of a bank, something like that. We have now these days we have agency banking.
Okay.
Okay, but if you give this money, like parish development model is being implemented by politicians. The chairman of a parish development model is an LC3 chairperson.
But are they paid enough, Honorable? Because you get to realize the
Because they're
reasons
not
why
paid. They are not being paid.
they're taking over this
Do they
money is
have-
because
Do they have what it takes?
manage these
Does
funds?
the parish chief
Okay.
have what it takes to guide the development at the parish level? The other day I was seeing a clip of the president and saying, when he was saying these politicians, why do the drunkard sit on their marwa or their pot of alcohol, and they choose one of them to go and represent them wherever, whether in parliament.
Because he's outspoken.
Yes. So because he sits and drinks with them. So what do you expect? So these programs needs to be highly technical, led by accountable people who are technical. But if you bring in politicians who are not technical, what do you expect?
All right. And to our
So
viewers there.
the design of the programs,
Okay.
the design of these programs that we bring in, the Tandikwa, the Nyoga, the
Wealth-
parish development
Operation Wealth
they should
Creation.
be